jail. I got, I think 47, 50 years, 47 suspended. Gave me 3 years, 10 years probation, 10 years supervised probation, which was intensive probation. So I had to go up there every week. You know what I'm saying? And then so along that time, the DA, Rick A. Conway, calls me back to the DA's office. Now I was in PC. They placed me in PC, which I really didn't believe that I needed. I could have went and told Roland Wheeler what was going on beforehand, but I couldn't get to him. If I would have told him in-house mail, then it would have kind of messed my situation up or something like that. So basically, the DA called me back to the office. I was in PC. I was in Loudoun County Jail. Then I come back to the jail. They called me in. They called me to the DA's office first. Then I go to the DA's office. Conway said something like, as a matter of like, we got a letter from somebody, this is that and the other, saying that you and your co-defendants did something else. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I told him that like 5 different times. So then he asked me that the 6th time. I said, well, F it. Since people wanna snitch, all I did was commit a grand larceny at McDonald's. All I did was take money out of the drawer at McDonald's. I said, nobody got no money from it. The dude let me take Rafi. I said, nobody got no money from it. I was the only one that did that. The dude at the register let me take the money because he was scared. This dude now, I know his name as Chris Oglesby or something like that. So then Conway asked me, do you think your co-defendant would tell me? I said, I don't know. Ask him, man. I said, just make sure that my lawyer is here so that you can't say that I snitched on him, man. So then March 9th, so I go back to Loudoun County Jail. March 9th, I come back to Manassas Jail. Then Rafi comes in. He had a letter in his hand, something like that. So I'm sitting in there. My lawyer's there. 2 people who look like lawyers who turned out to be Stafford County detectives. My lawyer, William A. Bogey, and Detective Matheson from Prince William County. So Rafi Bell sits down, had a letter in his hand or something like that. And he starts talking about some dude that allegedly shot somebody. I'm like, man. I'm like, dog, I'm like, this is, you know what I'm saying, it kind of throwing me off with whatever. I'm like, why he got a letter in his hand? What does he have a letter in his hand for, whatever? Then, so before everybody started talking, I'm like, Rafi, this is what I told him, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, before you say anything, Sims, Conway said that, let me do the talking. And then Conway asked him, do you think your co-defendant is a snitch, Rafi? Rafi said, yeah, he snitched on Roland Wheeler, didn't he? So he said, no, he's not a snitch. We have to set him up. He said, you're a snitch. We have to set him up to snitch because he doesn't snitch, right? This is all on tape, all right? Then he proceeds to ask Rafi a whole bunch of questions about crimes. Rafi admitted to the grand larceny that Rafi basically lied on Chris Oglesby, said that we all planned grand larceny at the thing when just me and Rafi got money. So I couldn't, reason why I didn't say nothing correct to him on tape was I didn't want to be heard on tape with what Conway just said. So Rafi goes on. He admits robbery, which was only a grand larceny. He just snatched money from a dresser, snatched money from a cash register, whatever, up in Stafford County, Chinese store on Jefferson Davis Highway, up in Stafford. Then he admitted to that. Told the people that the girl that we was with planned it with him. They asked me where does she be, who does she be with. I just pointed at myself like that. Then so long story short, Rafi went all the way back in the day to where he got the BB gun from, Sam's Club, this is that and the other. Detective Matheson pulls out some type of mugshot lineup, says something like if you don't cooperate, you get no help. I'm like, hey, whatever, I'm not cooperating, I'm not testifying on Chris Oglesby. I'm tired of y'all kind of listening to liars all the time, right? So Rafi Bell gets the mugshot paper, get the mugshot thing, and he's like, they pass it to me first. I'm like, well, man, I don't see the dude, whatever. Then they pass. Now this is all on tape. Now they passed. I don't know where they get this tape from. They would suppress that from me anyway. But but Rafi Bell gets the mugshot, but it's like that's him or whatever. Like that's him or whatever. So I'm like, oh man, I'm like this is crazy, right? So long story short, we all leave the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting charges from Stafford County or whatever. They charged me with grand larceny in Prince William County, robbery and breaking and entering in Stafford County. So I'm the one that goes to Stafford County jail first. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling everybody what Rafi Bell did. Like I'm all in this mess, man. I just had a kid. These dudes and Rafi Bell just snitched. These Ricky Elby and Rafi Bell just snitched on me. I can't see my kid be born, stuff like that. So at the time that I'm telling this to was a guy named Mike Swick in Stafford County Courthouse. In Stafford County, Rappahannock Regional Jail, they have to bring you outside of the jail. And you drive down Jefferson Davis Highway to the Stafford County Courthouse. So I get to the courthouse and telling this white guy Mike Swick about Rafi. Then Rafi walks in. So I asked him, Rafi, why you snitch on me, man? Oh, we can help roll Willis, all this other stuff, man, whatever. So I go use the bathroom or whatever. I leave out. The CO was coming to get me or whatever, so take me back to the jail. So I leave out and say, "Yo, can I use the bathroom, man?" So I still had shackles on my feet. In Stafford County Courthouse, you have to keep shackles on your feet unless you're going to trial, whatever. Unless it's your trial date, whatever. Then so I go back. I'm like, "Can I use the bathroom, man?" So I go back and use the bathroom. Rafi Bell's sitting down, so I snuff him, bang, beat him up, whatever. Then we leave, go back to, so I leave, I go back, they put me immediately in what they call the yellow brick road because the floors are yellow in the admin seg part,